Welcome back. For the last few days, we've been showing off some of the photos you sent in of your pets in their Halloween costumes, and they're so cute, right?
They absolutely are. But if your pets could talk, what would they say about it? Yeah, Dr. Mike Hutchinson, veterinarian, is here to talk about that and other Halloween safety tips. Costumes, what do you think, Dr. Mike? Is it a yes or no?
So I'd say in some pets, yes, some pets, no. Yeah. Some pets prefer their birthday suit, and that's what we should let them do because they just don't like that costume at all. And you know, I was at the Pet Fest this weekend, and I saw all these costumes, and I mean, some of them are absolutely amazing, and those dogs are walking around displaying them, and they look happy. They're wagging their tail.
They're fine.
So yeah, and you just watch out that they don't swallow little pieces or things that could cause hazards. But for the most part, as long as they're not too restrictive, I should say, or constricting around their neck, and they're okay with them, look at their demeanor. But if they look uncomfortable, take it off.
Yeah, they're distressed.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know your pet, you know they're unhappy.
Yeah, and some of them just do it really well. And it's, you know, kudos to all these owners that are taking the time to dress up their pets. It's a lot of fun.
We were talking about Zoe earlier, and we used to put a costume on, and she would just sit there and look at us.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Yeah.
I hate you.
I hate you.
What about humans dressed up in their costumes? Because they know us as looking a certain way. Do they even...
I used to torture my pets with the costumes. I used to put the costume and come out of the room, and some of the, you know, some of my dogs were, rah, 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 they started barking at you because they don't recognize you. So we have to be aware that they're not used to that. And some dogs get real playful. Oh, they start playing. It's like they know it's you.
It's a game.
Yeah, and it's a big game. So again, that's another thing to be aware of, and watch your pet's reaction. But I always tell people, you know, when you're Halloween, the doorbell's ringing, the kids are coming, all these strange costumes. Protect the kids and the dogs, you know, and keep them in the safe place, you know, get that room in the center of the house maybe, put on some music, some chill music, and just keep them away from the door because otherwise it can get confusing for them.
Yeah.
Well, they might be thinking they're protecting you or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And mean no, you know, ill will by it.
It's your home, and that's what their job is to protect the home. So you're absolutely right. My dogs don't shut up when somebody knocks on the door.
Oh, God.
You know, so for them, we live up on top of a hill in the middle of nowhere, so we don't get trick-or-treaters, doggone it. I still get the candy, though. But the dogs, you know, if somebody barks, they wouldn't shut up.
Oh, gosh.
So we'd have to have them in the middle of the room with loud music.
Mailmen, anything, you name it.
Yeah.
Kevin's
Well,
barking.
that makes sense. I mean, keep them in the middle of the room, loud music, or middle of the house.
Yeah, and some music to distract them, calming music maybe. There's some natural sedatives you can use, some diffusers you can plug in. You know, they can ask their vet about it. But DAP, dog appeasing pheromone, is a good one. And it's a pheromone that helps calm them. And it's very good. And you can plug it in, keep them in a room where that plugged in, and it might help calm them down.
Well, Dr. Mike, you mentioned that you still buy the candy even though you don't get the trick-or-treaters. But
Just
let's talk about that because we've talked about this before and how dangerous chocolate can be. But it's not just chocolate that can be harmful.
You're absolutely right. So we all know people are learning, they know about chocolate is toxic to pets. But xylitol, the sugar-free sweetener, but now they're labeling sugar-free. Xylitol is birch sugar. So you have to be aware what's on that label and what it is. And it's frustrating to me. Out in Europe, they call it by some number, X397 or 946, and they put that on the label. How are you supposed to know what that is? So we have to be very careful. I tell people no candies, no chocolates. If they get into it, you want to make sure you have hydrogen peroxide in your house. Have a quart of it at least. And that way your veterinarian can instruct you to give hydrogen peroxide to make them vomit if they get into chocolate. Only good news about chocolate, if a pet eats it, is that it balls up in their stomach for about 4 hours. So instead of only having 20 minutes to 30 minutes to get them to vomit, we actually can, if it's been a couple hours, we can still make them vomit and get it out.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, and too much.
Not awesome, but, you know.
It gives you time.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
really
if your dog
precious
eats
moments.
a couple M&Ms, they're not in trouble. But if they are eating, you know, if they get into that Halloween candy, it better be safe and make them vomit.
Yeah.
And if you don't have hydrogen peroxide on hand, you're making a trip to the ER. That's a nightmare.
Right.
So
just keep it on hand.
All of us vets will tell an owner what to do if their dog gets into chocolate. Now, cats are smarter than dogs.
Yeah.
They don't generally get into it, and you can't make them vomit, so we have to do that. You have to bring them in.
Okay.
We don't use hydrogen peroxide in cats.
Well, some really good tips and things to keep in mind for tomorrow, because of course Halloween is here.
Yeah, we like your orange. You're dressed
Thank
up.
you.
Yeah.
I'm a pumpkin a day early.
There you go.
Right.
Thanks, Dr. Mike.
You're welcome.
Dr. Mike Hutchinson of Animal General in Cranberry. He, of course, is a PTL regular. You can also hear him on KDK Radio, and he has a podcast. He's big time.
Yeah, he is. Of course, we're so lucky to have him here.